So the M14 in this game doesn't look nearly as cool as it did during Black Ops 1, but I still do enjoy it a good amount. And for some reason I'm going to talk about it in this video. I don't normally do videos like this, but okay, I'm talking about a singular weapon and why I'm using it in a Call of Duty game. Okay, so this video might have made more sense during Modern Warfare when a lot of things were very new, when Gunsmith was new and it was more enticing, but right now I'm going to do a very simple conversation just about why I'm enjoying the M14 and how it's sort of changing my opinion on Black Ops Cold War. So first things first, it's not changing my opinion on Cold War. Yeah, psych, I got you. The thing is that I'm still following the same mentality I had when I made my How to Win More Gunfights video. Basically what I said in that video, and you guys can go watch it, essentially it was use really high damaging weapons. Use weapons that out-damage your opponents at every turn. If your weapon isn't out-damaging an opponent, you are likely going to lose the gunfight, whether it's through raw damage, like a sniper rifle, or a shotgun, or DPS like the MP5 or the AUG, you're likely not going to win. If you are using something that kills slower or requires more accuracy or pacing, you don't want to have to use it. Now, the M14 fits in with this. The M14 kills very quickly. Now, I do actually think that the type is technically better, and I know that the AUG and M16 are very meta right now, but there's something about the M14 that's very satisfying, and one of the things that started me on this opinion is that I was doing an episode of the Boomcast, which is my podcast. In the last 2 hours, my friends and I just talked to viewers on Discord, you know, basically having one at a time with a question, like, you know, like callers on a show. It was really fun. And I'm gonna be doing more of that soon, so hit the bell icon to get notified when I go live. Either way, somebody was telling me that they really enjoyed the M14 because they paced their shots more like a DMR in Halo Reach than they would in a Call of Duty game because of the longer time to kill. Now, Halo and Call of Duty are very, very different games, and he was well aware that the time to kill is different, you know, between Halo Reach and, you know, Cold War, but it's the same principle of not spraying and praying and going all over the place, but having a little bit more of a meticulous touch to your aim. And there is some merit in that, and it did sort of get me intrigued to use the M14 in that way. If you guys go watch that episode of the Boomcast, when I get to that part, it kind of excited me a little bit, just to think of it that way, like pace your shots more, and don't use it like a traditional Call of Duty DMR, which is usually just spray and pray until they're dead. I mean, I got the SKS Gold in the first weekend it came out with Modern Warfare, and it killed my brain cells. It was such an easy, spammable weapon that killed ridiculously fast, potentially one-shot headshotting as well, and it really turned my brain off to use that weapon all weekend, and it was actually harder to go back to other guns after it. But here in Cold War, I need to be a little bit more consistent and persistent with my aim, so just spraying this thing down lanes isn't going to work as well as I'd like it to. So I find myself pacing shots and trying to aim for the head and spamming when required. And because this game has shotguns as secondaries, I really don't fret close range engagements. What I'm going to start doing, what I think my playstyle is going to be, is running the M14 or a tactical rifle of some kind, but I really like the M14 right now. I think it might be my first gold gun. So take the M14 and run it with a SPAS 12 as my secondary. That way tight quarters are my bitch, and so are long and mid-range engagements. And head glitching is very, very powerful with these tactical rifles. Like I said in my video, you want to use something that's high damaging, because if you start hitting somebody with a DMR, whether it's a burst weapon like the M16 or like the DMR-14 here, the M14, if you start hitting them, they can't knock you off target with their SMG, with their LMG. If you start hitting them and putting shots in them and you're able to land them, it's going to feel like a very unavoidable death to them, even if they're fast enough to get their gun up. And if someone is using a slower time to kill weapon and they're not aiming for your head, then they'll start getting hit markers as you're already deleting them off the map. Even at crazy long ranges across the map Miami, I'm able to get 3-shot headshots, and it's fast. You can get those rounds out quickly. You do not have to pace your pace your shot for your recoil control or anything like that. It's very, very intuitive, but still rewarding. I'm usually an AR player or an SMG player, but I see myself using a lot of DMRs and LMGs in this game. They do a lot of damage, and this game is playing very conservatively at the moment. My friends and I are running into more head glitchers in Cold War than we were in Modern Warfare, believe it or not. I feel like I'm playing whack-a-mole, so something that can whack the moles really fast is gonna be the thing that I use. This thing drops people fast without headshots, faster with headshots, good at most ranges, shotgun as a secondary reduces the issue of close range engagements, and there's really just a fun factor here, and I'm happy about that. The DMR is still requiring me to control it. It's not like the auger in Black Ops 4, and that actually brings something up here. Because this weapon isn't being used a whole bunch, I don't have to worry about it getting nerfed, because Treyarch nerfs specifically off of usage most of the time without really worrying about the meta or design of the game. And Infinity Ward did this as well, only they would nerf a gun to shit because it was really powerful in Warzone, completely disregarding 6v6 and 10v10, so rip to the Bruin. But we saw this in Black Ops 4 with the Auger DMR. The Auger DMR, to anybody that used it, was a very competent, fast-killing weapon, and Treyarch decided to make it even more accurate. And I think they even made it fire faster at one point. It's crazy how good the Auger DMR is in Black Ops 4, and if they keep nerfing and buffing things simply based on usage, well, the M14 is not being used a lot. Hell, it might get a buff. Currently, I can see myself ditching assault rifles and SMGs entirely in this game. I really can. I can see myself creating a very conservative, high damage playstyle in this game, because pushing multiple people is kind of a pain in the ass for me. I find it to be very frustrating fighting multiple people in this game. I don't think it's simply a matter of just getting good either. I do think the game really stacks that against you, which is why I think I'm seeing a lot of head glitching and a lot of conservative play in Cold War right now. You know, as we all learn the game more, maybe this will change, or as the game changes, this will change. But currently, I really like the idea of having a high damage DMR or an LMG or something on somebody, landing shots into them, and even if they were to stop and start shooting me, I'm probably still gonna win the gunfight. Because if I can land 2 shots on somebody's chest, and they start shooting me with an MP5, I need to land 1 shot. And that's a lot easier for me to do, especially if I get really good with this thing, and I'm starting to feel pretty confident. So the shotgun in close range will subvert close range engagements, and then at mid to long range, I'll just be able to shatter people before they can react. And it might not be the best tactical rifle here, but it's fun to use, and I have nostalgia for it in some way. When my dad was in Vietnam, he was issued an M14, so it's always been a common topic whenever he would tell war stories. I'd always hear a lot about the M14. I've always just loved the way it looks, and it's not as cool as the Black Ops 1 counterpart, because I think the Black Ops 1 version looks a lot sexier, but hopefully we'll get a variant that looks like that later down the line. I would definitely buy a blueprint of this gun that looks like the Black Ops 1 M14, but until then, I'm gonna keep rocking this DMR. You guys let me know your favorite class setups for this gun, or how you're playing the game, and if you think I'm wrong about the meta. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.